golf.
We're not good enough golfers.
Where is the beverage cart? Can't believe I paid money for this.
And it's the Ridge Golf Podcast, brought to you by Par Tabs. Get yourself some of that sweet golf cardboard crack at www.partabs.com. Just a quick mention here, the bar car videos really blew up on TikTok. So like right now I'm looking at the Ridge Golf TikTok profile. That's at 76,000 views, and that got put up on Thursday morning. And then I just put one shorter one on my personal, and that is at 123,000 views right now. And I loaded that up Friday night, so it's doing well.
She's cooking. She's cooking.
Yeah. And if you're listening because of those TikTok videos and they brought you here, thank you. You know, I hope you enjoy it. This is just fun for us. So
Yeah, maybe stick around, huh?
Welcome. Yeah.
but
Go ahead.
no, go right ahead. You just take.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the one thing the comment section on TikTok, I hate looking at it because we had more than a few people being like, "Yeah, it's gonna foam." Like, don't you know that? We obviously know that. Like, even if you didn't know that the first time you use it, you'd be like, "Oh, this thing's shaking up. We're gonna keep getting foam." But we know that going in. We knew that. Right. So settle down.
We know how beer works, but yeah, obviously it was a concern, and everybody watching the video, like, yeah. And it's not a full keg that's in there. It's a small 2.5 gallon keg with a pressure relief valve on top. So we can always like take some of the pressure out. But yeah, I don't know. We did use the keg part of it last Friday when we had it. Granted, we weren't moving hardly at all, but
it was fine. And like I said, if you use something that's not like I said, like Twisted Tea would be a perfect example. Like, that's not going to foam on you. You could put anything in this you wanted to. You could carry lemonade with you and have vodka in it. You could just make, lemonade vodka. You could do a vodka and orange juice. You could do screwdrivers. I mean, it's whatever you wanted to do. You can put in there. So
one thing might not go through there real well is a Bloody Mary. I don't know if you want to do that in there.
We can try it.
Oh, gross. So gross.
I don't get why everyone hates them, but I like them. So
I like Bloody Marys.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah. But yeah, so we know, and that's we'll probably do another video at some point, I imagine, where we're actually pouring. I'd like one where we're pouring while we're driving it, just to shut everybody up. But
I'd say we mix up 2.5 gallons of old fashioned. I'd be down.
We could do that. Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be a terrible idea, and you're not going to get any foam there or anything. So,
but. So yeah, we'll keep this cooking. Oh yeah, Brady's gone because he's got technical.
Sucks. Yeah, he's got that crap internet.
So we were going to talk about the Maiden Voyage that we did take it out. Been like last week, but yeah. So the plan was to take it out to Lancaster and then just shoot some videos, which we did. But Alex is like, you need to call the golf course to make sure that it's cool.
I begged you to call them numerous times. Because it's just like this. Just when you say this idea out loud, it just sounds like, oh my gosh, these trash people are gonna show up and like it's gonna be this junky, shitty golf cart. And I was like, I was even to the point where I was like, maybe we should just email them like a picture so they can see what it looks like. Because if I was them, I'd be like, I'm not even on board for this idea out of the gate. So yeah, I begged him to ask. Now go ahead.
I did none of that. I called ahead and I just asked if it was cool if we brought our own golf cart. The guy's like, yeah, that's cool. So I'm like, oh, sweet, we got permission. So then we loaded it up. Jordan hauled it there, and then we're looking for a place to park. I'm like, I'm gonna go in and discuss the situation with the club. I was in there, and the lady that runs the place happened to be just standing like right out in the front. And I talked to her. I'm like, hi, how you doing? I called yesterday, and the gentleman I spoke to said it was okay if we used our own golf cart today. And she's like, oh, yeah, he kind of misspoke. Not really. We don't like people doing that because ordinarily we just let members do that, and you have to pay a cart fee. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Like I thought she just meant like the driving fee for the day. I'm like, what's the cart fee? And she's like, it's like $300. I'm like, oh boy. So I'm trying to think in my head how I can make this happen, which backing up a couple of weeks before that, she happened to be at the butcher shop where my other brother-in-law works, and Jordan too, and she was looking for sponsors for a golf tournament that they're having in the next couple of weeks. And he happened to mention to her about the Ridge Golf and the bar car, and we could take it out there. And she thought that was a great idea. So moving back forward to where I was at, I just said, look, we're the ones that sell the par tabs, which we've given them before, and they really like those. And she's like, oh, her eyes got huge. She's like, it's that golf cart, the bar one. I'm like, yeah. She's like, is it outside right now? I'm like, yeah, come on out. Let's go check it out. And she walked out. She's like, oh my God, look at that thing. She's like, yeah, of course. You guys, you could park right up there and you could take it out today. I'm like, oh, thank you. So
I can't. They are so nice at that golf course. Like they have been always really nice to us and great to us. So big shout out to them. Quick at Lancaster.
So we unloaded it, and she's still super pumped. She's like, I'm gonna meet you guys at the first tee box, so we could take some pictures. So we drove up there. She made us all get up to the bar with our drinks, and she took a couple photos. And she's like, hey, we kind of explained to her too, like, this is a very old cart, so we don't know if it's going to make it all the way. She's like, there is somebody here that owns like an old Cushman that would be able to pull you off the course if something would happen. So I'm like, sweet, thank you very much. So
yeah, we were kind of counting on it actually, that it was not going to make it the whole time.
Right. So actually there was 7 of us golfing at a hole because we weren't getting pushed, and it was kind of raining that day, so there's nobody out there. So like, what the hell? So the one brother-in-law that owns the shop, he was golfing with us, but he showed up late, so we all hit. And then I started driving that thing. I'm by myself in the golf cart, by the way. So I'm driving this thing, and they have these penis-y looking trees. I don't know. They're looking like.
I think you could have came up with so much better way to describe that than
like
That was,
It's a thin pine tree.
boom. Look at better already. Thank God Brady came into this.
Yeah.
Right. So I parked it behind that because there was still, I know some of you guys didn't make it to the green. I'm not saying you guys particularly, but people
You
were
didn't make it to the green.
it was us, yes.
Yeah. So I half-assed parked it behind there. So I'm like, that'll be, out of the way. Well, shit. Josh came up, teed off, and I'm standing on the green just watching this. So his first hole, I just see him tee off. I look up and I'm like, that is going right at the golf cart. And it's like, sure as shit. First hole, first hit, right into the golf cart. I'm like, my baby.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I don't think none of us expected that, but all of us, I think, kind of had the same like, oh my gosh reaction. Like, we're like, this whole hole here you could have hit, and he just beams the back of the golf cart first time out.
All
Very
it did,
fitting.
yeah, all it did was actually hit the top of the, the rear, the body of it's covered in bed liner. So it just hit the top of that and then bounced and hit the seat. So there's just very minor scuffs. It's fine, but still, I was just like,
Back
But-
to these penis trees.
they're
Oh,
your
you like
favorite.
those? Yeah.
Just such a weird way to describe it. Okay, go ahead.
So, so I took off on the cart and just driving it throughout the day. It did good. It did better than I thought it was going to for being as old as it is and kind of slapped together. But the hills were a problem. But, Alex and I noticed on the first initial drives we had, there might be a leaky cylinder head that we have to take care of. And then there might be some belt slip issues too with the clutch. But I couldn't go straight up some of those hills because they were pretty steep. But, just
It's
serpentine.
not great. Yeah, it was good enough for filming some videos for the day. That's
And
it.
Yeah.
Wasn't originally like the plan was to golf the front 9 with it and then get, another cart for the back 9 and just park it. But
Right.
it went well enough in the front 9 that we decided to take it to the back 9.
Let it
Which
ride.
was a
And
mistake.
The second hole.
11, hole 11.
Yep.
Yeah. Which happens to be the farthest hole away from the clubhouse.
Which
Yes,
I
yes.
predicted would
Close, yeah.
happen
Well, that
if we took it.
so I was going to hole 11 and I went to hit the brakes and I'm like, there's nothing there. Like 0 brakes at all. No parking brake, no nothing. And then so I said, I'm like, Alex, we lost our brakes. I'm like, get in
And
here.
honestly, it didn't affect me one iota. I was in a good cart, so I didn't really care.
Right, but I'm like, check these out. We lost our brakes. So he takes it, literally drives it like 40 feet, stops, and then it just shuts off. Like the whole thing just powers down because he breaks everything you touch, you break.
Yeah, but I also fix it.
Right.
You suck.
So
I'm the one that got that going.
So it's a good thing we don't actually have a roof on it because we have to open up that whole back. So yeah, there's a castle nut on the brake line or brake cable, I should say. There's no line that was loose, so we just tighten that back up. Then we have brakes, and then we had an old shitty battery terminal cable that came loose and just popped off. So quick little pit stop. We had it all operational again, I should say.
Well, and we did, and I mean, this was later, but might as well say this now since we're doing the list of things that went wrong. There's also a long, stiff rod, boy.
We're still talking about the cart
penis
here,
trees.
or-
This
Yeah,
is right on par with this podcast.
it holds up the engine essentially. It's the engine bolts into 4 different spots, but there's a rod that holds it kind of in place. It kind of absorbs the motion of that engine or motor. And there's little bushings on the end. Long story short, that rod almost came out. Now, if it comes out, the engine can tip, it tears the belt, it essentially shreds it, and you can ruin your engine, the clutch, everything. So that was, by the time we got done after 18 holes, that was almost out. So we potentially could have just literally destroyed the whole cart that day too. Luckily, it held though. So yeah, definitely some problems we ran into, but fixed every single one of them within a day when I got home. They were minor problems, but
The one thing too that so it's a 2-stroke and it's loud, but it's not insanely loud. Like I watched Alex take off with it. I'm like, it's actually, once you're 20 feet away, it's fine. But I was going up one hill, my clubs were falling out of the back, and Jordan and Josh were yelling at me. I couldn't hear shit. Like, there's no reason to like put music in it because you can't hear anything. So,
yeah.
dude, we were screaming at you. I look back, I'm like, oh shit, dude! Like the bank zipped back, the clubs like spilling out on the ground. And I don't ever zip up any of my pockets like that hold the tees or the golf balls or anything. So those were kind of floating around back there in the box. So, but that's just another thing that we need to address. We were just shaking it down that day, basically.
Yeah. We basically said it sounded like a lawnmower, like a weed whacker going around the course. Like
it did. And once you were on the grass, it did muffle it quite a bit. But like I've like, I mean, I've never heard really a Harley golf cart before, and so like I kind of just YouTube some just driving. And I mean, given it's not the same audio that you hear in real life, but it sounds pretty close. Like it's about as loud, I think, as most normal ones were.
yeah, I don't think it was anything unusual.
No, and like even if you go on like any gas powered golf carts or something, there's some sound to them. I mean, you're having, I mean, it's a combustion engine. You're gonna hear some stuff. Whereas a battery one, that's just juice. I mean, so you don't hear that, but I thought it was actually pretty quiet. When we drove it around here on the streets, it was loud, but that's bouncing off concrete, blacktop, all that stuff. So that's going to sound a little bit louder.
Yeah. After we got going again after that one broke down, and like hole 12 is the one you kind of got to jump that ditch or whatever, and then that was right after we fixed the brakes. So I'm just like, Jordan, get
a little worried.
like in front of me in case you got to stop me going down this hill, dude. But yeah, actually too, if you keep it running and you keep the engine engaged with the clutch, it'll engine brake its way down. You won't like lose control, but if the engine dies, yeah, you're going for a ride.
A little free
It
fall.
can handle it. I wouldn't be worried about it.
Right.
But I wasn't driving either, so
yeah. But yeah, it was weird. Like some parts were kind of doggy, and then at the end we were on 18, and Jordan and Josh took off in front of me, and like I hit the gas and I'm driving down the fairway. I'm like, I'm catching up to them. And they're like, holy shit, dude, like this thing's got some power now. And I pull up to the side of them and was like, hey.
I did some digging today. I think there's a few things we can change that might help that. So
Right.
I actually do know a guy. I know 2 different guys, the one I'm not going to go to, but that can probably service it, and we probably can get it running decent where 2 people can drive it and it doesn't bog up. Because it's I know one person, like one of the threads I wrote or read said like going uphill it drops to like 11 miles an hour. There's no way we're doing 11 miles an hour going uphill. We're maybe doing a mile an hour.
I know if you're making it up the hill a couple times.
Yeah, it's not great. And you throw 2 bodies on that, you're almost doing nothing. So
two big bodies.
two larger size men. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. I mean, that was pretty much the day, except some notable things. Like things I liked about it actually were just leaving my phone on top of the bar, and then getting out and be able to put my beer on top of the bar, and then having like kind of that extra. I mean, granted, you can't do it if you have two riders with two sets of clubs, but that one's kind of empty, so it's like almost like a little mini truck bed because it's just a well. So I threw a bunch of crap in there, and then the swing juice holder that holds the liquor bottles. We only had the one in there, so I was throwing all my empties in the other three pockets. Like, yeah,
That's
and
what
my
I was,
wallet.
I was gonna ask you guys too what you thought. Someone commented on there like we should have like, if we were smart. Please come on, we built this thing. Shut up. If we were smart, we would have like made cup holders on the bar. I didn't agree with that. Like,
There's no cup holders on a bar, so why would you?
Well, right. Like if you're you're not gonna put them in the bar, and then you're gonna cut into your bar top to put a cup holder. That just didn't make much sense to me. If we talked about it too, we just haven't bought it yet. But in between the seats, putting cup holders there because there's actually a perfect spot for cup holders. And then when you get off, you just take your beer out and slap it on the bar. And then while the others are golfing, you can just stand at the bar and drink. Like to me, that makes way more sense. But
that's why you never read the comments, Alex.
Yeah,
never
never
read the comments.
Well, these idiots.
That's rule number one. Never.
I like to see what they built. Come on.
Yeah, that's you getting all fired up here, dude. What else did I like about it? Oh yeah, and all the cargo area underneath. There's that ledge. So I mean, the keg goes under there. Then obviously, if we're gonna get that second tap running, we'll put another 2.5 gallon keg under it. But that still won't take up that much room. So you have like quite a bit of room up there. Oh yeah, we did put this last weekend. I got my hands a hold of like some tray, like slidable tray out of some school desks that we screwed up underneath the bar. So now we have a tray to put all the coasters and the dice cup and
Nice.
all that stuff in
Nice.
there. So actually, me and Alex were in a pretty big hurry. We were loading it up last Friday when we took it to our family event. We forgot to take the big bar mat off of it and a coaster, and we found those lying in the golf cart when we got back. Driving it down
Nice.
the highway. Yeah.
Pretty lucky there.
I was like, Brady will be pissed if we lost those. We need to talk about one hole on there, that par 3 in the back 9.
I was gonna bring this up. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
How good?
Everyone
How good
remember
you
that?
did?
Blake mentioned that there was 7 of us golfing all at once. Like we maybe saw like 3 or 4 other groups golfing, so we weren't pushed at all. So that's kind of why we went all together. So it's 150-yard par 3.
Yep.
And Alex was on the back 9. He was on the par 3s. You get 2 shots. Just
Quick.
try and do your best.
Is that like a new Ridge Golf like rule that we're doing
Every par 3 is a 2 ball.
I'm okay with
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, why not?
All right.
But yeah, so we're all teeing off. 14 balls, and not one of them gets on the green.
It was spectacular.
That was a
Not really even that close to the green.
I think, yeah,
Whoa, whoa,
the
whoa.
closest one was maybe 10 feet off, I think, or so, like down on the hillside there. I guess
And
Alex's did go past a little bit. but I didn't know.
Mine went past a little bit.
this green
It's
is pretty wide.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's wide, but it's not deep. But then also there's like a backstop hill. So if you even punch that hill and it's dry, it should still roll back down into the green. We got none of that.
No.
None of that.
3 people came close to the green. The rest ended up in mainly tall grass.
Tall
Yeah.
grass or way left, or
Yeah.
it was true ridge golfing on that.
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah. I like
Pretty poor.
Brady's second shot. I mean, you hit it clean, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was beautiful, but as soon as I saw it to peek down, I'm just like grass.
It looked
Yeah.
looked great, just 10 yards short or 20 yards short, or whatever it was.
Yeah. So the line was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was good. But yeah, I do like that 2-ball rule. I don't know why what made you guys start doing that, but
I've been
Well, you
doing
might
it
as
for
well get-
years.
Yeah, I was saying Brady. It's a 2-ball every hole. but-
Brady, that's a minimum 2 balls. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a par 3. You want to get on the green. I'm still going to use my first one, unless my second one's really good. But like, you might as well take 2 shots at it. Who knows? Maybe you can get it I mean, it's the chance that we're gonna get the best opportunity to get a hole in one. So I just figure, what the hell, might as well drop 2.
Yeah, but you get one on your second shot. Is that really a hole in one then, though? Everyone knows it's your second shot.
Well, it's the one you're gonna tell them about. So yeah,
You can
Well,
say you
that's what,
got.
like, go ahead.
I was gonna say you can just say it. You got from the green, so technically you can say on your second shot if you're a gentleman.
no, I
From
feel
the
I'm just
tee
gonna say it
box.
was a hole in one.
Sort
Jeez.
of.
Yeah,
Hole in 2, but from the tee box.
yeah.
But that day, it seemed like we were keeping score. Well, Alex was keeping Blake's score, but we weren't like keeping that close to the scores. So I think we were just kind of dinking around.
It was more of like a film day, but none of
Yeah.
us filmed.
Yeah,
I took one video, I think.
that was super fucking awesome. Like we got done. Alex is like, "You really should have took more video." I'm like, "The guy driving the golf cart should have took more video." And I had
Hey.
6 other people with smartphones that could.
The video you use on TikTok, the first video, it was my video.
Yes, and I gave you my phone, and you lost it on that fairway in the middle of the fairway. I got done. I'm like, "Hey, actually, no. There's 2 videos. There was one of the TikTok, and then there was another video of somehow you must hit the record button again. And I just watched my video sit in your cup holder for 2.5 minutes and then fall out of the golf cart.
Nice.
Did you get the audio of me saying "screw this phone" and just throwing it out the side? No, we had to backtrack and find it. But I was like, this would make a good part of the video. It's just like you're looking at the tire, and then it just pans to the golfer. It turned out nice.
It did. No, like I said, I got some good TikTok traffic off that. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna do a couple more videos, but like I said, there's more to Ridge Golf than just the bar car, so we don't want to like saturate it too much. But
It's our
Well,
identity now.
What's that?
It's our mascot.
Yeah, we did take. Oh my God! So the day that we did take that video, we didn't have the keg hooked up. So then we took it to our family's golf tournament, and then I went in the clubhouse and just bought a bunch of beer and had them fill up the keg. I took that back out. We brought all these tools and stuff to fix the golf cart in case. The only thing we didn't bring was the instructions to the keg. So we couldn't get the one quick valve on the keg, the one that the CO2 feeds into. And I'm like, God, it works on this one, but not on this one. Well, we had the hoses backwards. So we disconnect the hoses, put the hoses back on, put the CO2 on. What happened there? Well, we didn't have it tight enough. So we drained the CO2, just those little ones. So threw that away, put another one in. We didn't have the hose line to the out valve tightened all the way. So we lost CO2 there. Tightened that up, threw that CO2 away, put in another one. And then we got a good video of me tapping beer. We shut it off and just beer explodes out of the tap tower. Like, oh, that's loose. So like, tighten that one up. So there's a couple beers poured on the ground.
It's a lot of work in progress. But we already got our idea for our next golf cart, so that's but we got another one possibly coming. So
Already teasing another one.
yep.
You just get four of them, one for each of us. We can drive them around then.
Oh,
There you go.
There's the TikTok right there. I
look like the Shriners.
Yeah.
That's all right. I do have an idea for a third, but none of these guys are going for it. So
It'd be a great video if we Zorshrined our way down a fairway or something. Yeah, serpentining through there.
Yeah, we'll probably wreck that. Oh, I will say one thing too, that you gotta really keep an eye on your ball when you're driving that golf cart too, because your forward vision is, you can still see decently, but man, it's pretty obscured, especially in Lancaster where they have those bridges. I was kind of hanging out the side. I'm like, let's get a little closer here. This is trying to get lined up, but yeah. No, it was fun. It was good. I enjoyed driving it. Like I said, we just gotta get tuned up and just fix all, got a couple loose bolts here and loose things here, get it all tightened, and we're good to go.
yeah, we potentially have a parade contest that we're gonna try to win. I think we can do it. So that might be something to talk about. Hopefully we win. Hopefully we take it there. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But hopefully we can win that too.
Yeah, that'll be sick. But yeah, so that's I guess if anything more happens with the golf cart, we'll bring it up. But other than that, we'll talk about more golf on the next episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
don't know what your reaction wanted there, but
I don't know what else to talk about golf cart wise. So that's it. You're all up to date now.
Brady, Jordan, anything you'd like to? Brady hasn't said much, so
which is odd. Which is odd.
The only golf related news today is the you see the protest at the Travelers or whatever tournament that was.
no.
I heard about it, but I didn't actually watch it.
Yeah, so I watched the video. There's like 18th green, and once the leaders got up there, like 6-ish people like stormed the green with like smoke bombs and shit. And police like immediately tackled them all, arrested them, took them off the course. But it was just like,
What were they protesting?
who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the
Ain't
number-
gonna give them the time of day.
yeah.
I say there's better places to do that, or just don't do it.
Even if you're gonna do it, like they pick the worst. Like, why not one of the majors when there's like 10 times as many eyes on the sport? Not the
That's
week
true.
after a major when it's some no-name tournament that half the people don't even play in. Like, I don't know.
People
If
just
you're
want to be a
trying
part
to
of
get
something.
seen, you picked a terrible weekend to do it. Like,
Well, we're talking about it right now. I mean,
yeah,
we're
I guess.
spreading the word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what they're protesting, so they're just
Nope.
protesters.
Yeah, and I don't know if they'll mention
Probably
it.
noodle golf balls.
Yeah.
No more of this.
Get rid of
trash.
noodles. Get rid of noodles.
I don't know if they will mention it too, because it just like it's like a streaker and like during the Super Bowl they don't even put cameras on
Yeah,
them or
They don't want to like bring the attention to it. Yeah.
right.
Isn't that a shame too? Gosh dang
You'd like that, wouldn't you?
it. Yeah. Most
More of those
interesting part.
trees.
So, but yeah, but all right. Well, that's all I have for this week, fellas.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Catch
Thanks for
y'all
hopping on.
later.
Yep.
See ya.
Get out of here!